Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about AutoCAD and the AutoCAD web app. These two tools are still very powerful and very useful when it comes to doing architectural work. Of course, Revit has taken over a lot of it, but for just 2D basic floor plans and things, AutoCAD is still pretty prevalent out in industry. So if you've got AutoCAD downloaded, it's wonderful, it's a great program to use, but if you don't have access to it because maybe you're using a Chromebook, then there is a way to still be able to access it, but you don't have to download it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here in the Google search engine, and I'm going to paste in, and I will have this available for you, the AutoCAD web app login. It's web.autocad.com/login. I hit the enter key and let it go to it. And this is what you're going to see when it comes in. Now, of course, if you do not have an account yet with Autodesk, you'll have to create an account and verify you're a student and all that good stuff. But if you do have an account, which most of you do, you can go straight to sign in. This splash will come up. Of course, sign in just like always. And then you'll put your password in. And say sign in. And when you do that, this will come up. This is the opening page. The only thing that you're going to see different, I have got my template inches uploaded right now. You can do that off of your desktop. So, you can pull it from there. If you don't have access to your desktop, then what you can do is you can go to your web browser, your storage. So that would be the cloud, okay? You need to do that anyway. So you may not be able to upload something. You may have to work strictly out of the cloud, and that's fine, okay, if you're working off a Chromebook. So what you're going to do, I've already got it loaded here. If you notice, mine says Google Drive. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to Add Storage Provider. Then you're going to go to Google Cloud. And when it comes up, you're going to choose your account. And it's going to ask if you want to allow access. It's going to ask you if you want to. I've already done this, so it says I've already gave access to AutoCAD. But you want to make sure that you click yes in a case like that, okay? So I'm going to click allow and let it do its thing. And when it spins out, if you notice now, right here is my Google Drive. So I can go back and forth between the web app or the Google Drive right here. Either way I want to do that. So, but you can upload folders here and stuff. It may not appear like mine did, but if it don't, you can just always go back into AutoCAD and get it and work off of it. Either way will work fine. So let me show you what I do here. I'm going to go in, and this is going to take me a second to get into it because I know where I've got it stored at. I'm going to scroll down to Architecture 3. Okay. I'm going to hit my basic template, which I will make available to you. It's retrieving everything in the template, and it's going to open it after it retrieves it. So it's found it. Here it is. So what we've got, and I'm going to get rid of this little box here. What we've got, if you notice, up at the top, just like always, gives you a string, tells you where it's at and what it is. So it looks a little bit different. Remember, the very first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to drop down, hit Save As, and we're going to give it a name. I'm just going to call this First House, and hit Save. Okay, boom, now up at the top, if you notice, you give it just a second, and now it says First House. Wonderful, that's what we want, okay? Or whatever we're calling this drawing. So to look at, here's your drawing window. Down here is your command line, and it's going to remember several lines of command for you, so you don't have to worry about that. We're working in view, we're working in model space. Of course, that's why it's black. We can go into layout space if we want to. Our properties, if we want to click on something and find out what layer it's on or anything else, it's here. Our layers, as always, is here. The one that's in blue right now is the current layer. So right now I'm in my wall layer. We can add blocks. Again, we would have to go out and find block. We could go and browse and find it. So this is good. If I click on Browse for Blocks, I can go to my Google Drive, and I can get my water closet or my stove or whatever it is I need. Okay, and I will make those available for you again, like I've done in the past. Down here's our actual commands that we've got. This is our drawing tab. So rectangle, circle, we've got arc, we've got spline, we've got X-line, line, and polyline and hatch. Of course, the two we will use primarily is circle and line, just like always. We can use the rectangle and explode it and make it into more lines if we wanted to. That'll work. Okay, our annotate tab, you can still measure. Our revision cloud we don't use much, but here we've got our dimension, text, and our leader. So we'll be using those as always. And then here, of course, is our modify commands, our buddies that lets us do a lot of different work. So we do have our explode key. So move, we've got stretch, mirror, fillet, copy, trim. We can still do extend. You just have to type it in. Erase, rotate, scale. Here's our offset, which is a big help. Of course, our join command, which is fantastic. This is a match properties. We don't use it a lot. Here is our extend. So they're one directly below the other. You can use it that way. And then, of course, explode if we do use that rectangle command. Okay? So let's start with draw. Let's draw a basic house. You know, if we go into line, we could click here, drag out, tell it that house needs to be 50 feet long by using the 50 and the foot symbol, which is the apostrophe, and hit enter. If you notice now, it's way too long. We can't see it. Well, to get out of a command, what we do is we right-click and say confirm. That's the only way out of the command. So we can't set up our right mouse key. Now we can go here to zoom extents, or we can double-click the roller wheel just like always, and it will zoom extend. Then we can roll back and make it a length that we can manage. So there's my line that long. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Then we can draw our lines down and do our offset and all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that line note. Okay, I'm going to use the rectangle command. So now, notice I've got highlighted in blue my width. So I'm going to type in 50 feet, then I'm going to hit my tab button, and now it's asking for my width, and I'm going to say 28 feet, and hit enter. Now it's got it drawn. I'm going to double click my roller wheel, roll it back a little bit so I can see it. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our box on the screen. It's all one entity. If I click on it, the whole thing lights up. Right now, it's not a bad thing, because what we can do is we can go to modify, we can go to offset, and now notice what it says, select object to offset or offset through. See, it doesn't give us that first option of going in and telling it a distance like we like. So if I click on it and drag in, now I'm going to type in 4, because remember, the default is inches. I'm going to type in 4 and enter, and it'll offset 4, okay? So that's how that works. That's pretty handy. Now I'm going to hit confirm. I can also hit confirm down here. I'm going to hit right mouse click and say repeat last command. Now if you notice, this time it lets me say specify distance. I'm not real sure why it doesn't the first time, but there we go. So now we've got our walls. I'm going to hit escape. Now then, if you want these to act independently of each other, we can click and hold down and drag across. So I'm left clicking and holding it down. Turn it loose, highlight everything and say explode. And now everything's its own little separate line. Okay? So that's how we can do that. And then, of course, we can go in and put in our other walls and things like that. And you can use the blocks to put your windows and your doors in, just like you do in AutoCAD. So it is still kind of handy to use that way, okay? But this is a great option instead of using AutoCAD. You can use this on a Chromebook. You can even use this on an iPad or on your phone or something like that. So it's really portable. People like it because they can take it out into the field with them, okay? As long as you've got Wi-Fi access. When you get done with whatever you're drawing, you always want to hit save to make sure it saved your changes. Notice down here it says save. And then, of course, you can log out when you're done. Okay? If you want to go back to that home page, if we come over here, we can click, and there we are. Now, if we wanted to go back into that drawing, notice it's not here. So what we would have to do is we would have to go back into Google Drive, just like before. I'd have to go all the way back in the same way I did before. It's taking its time to retrieve, but that's okay because I know where it's at. Scroll down to Architecture 3, first house, right there it is, and I can open it right back up this way. Now, by having it on my Google Chrome and having it on the drive, I can download it onto my computer. When I get back to the office, if I've got something that I can use, draw on it, upload it again, replace the one that's there, and then I can bring it back and forth. The only trick is, remember, to always keep your latest one there. Now, if you notice when I open this up, it says fonts are displayed as Simplex, SHX. This is only a visual difference. The data in your file hasn't been modified. So it's going to show it as a different font, but my font that I'm using, it will still use. So it works out okay. So that's how that works. It's a pretty handy program. It even gives you the ability to open it up in a desktop if you've got the program. I've never used that function, but I hope this helps a lot as far as getting you the ability to work within AutoCAD. If you have any questions, be sure and ask. Have a great day.